Hi, I'm Hub Arkus, publisher and editor here at Pro Football Weekly, along with associate editor Kevin Fishbane, and we're here to give you our Monday Night Football preview, and it's one of those rare occasions where Kevin actually covers both teams, the San Diego Chargers and the Denver Broncos. And, Kev, looking at Denver going into New England last week, to me, this is a team that's starting to play more to their form. They've got a huge upgrade at quarterback. I think Peyton Manning looks fine. It's the rest of this roster that's really lacking a little bit when you're talking about playoff competitive teams.
Right, it was another game, Hub, in which the Broncos really wasted a great performance by Peyton Manning and the passing game. You look at Demaryius Thomas really turning into one of the best young receivers in the game, and Eric Decker and those tight ends as well. And even the run games looked all right this year, obviously without the fumble, but that defense is just digging them in too big of holes. And that's a defense that they added a lot to. You talk about Jack Del Rio, Mike Adams, Tracy Porter. These additions were supposed to help, and they looked good against the Steelers early on, but they cannot put Peyton Manning in that big of a hole anymore.
Chargers, of course, lost a tough one last Sunday night in New Orleans, but it's not like the Charger team the last couple of years just didn't show up last week. They ran into a bit of a buzzsaw. That was a tough spot for them. For the most part, they're still playing fairly well, even on both sides of the ball, in spite of the points the Saints put up.
They are, and that front seven on defense for San Diego is still playing well, and the offense is too. I think the one thing that a lot of people are wondering is about Ryan Matthews. I know we talked about that last week, and I'm wondering why not more Ryan Matthews. He looked very good in those first couple quarters. He wasn't even on the field for the final drive for San Diego. There's a guy who might be the most electric player on the field come Monday night, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of him. But the one thing about the Chargers, Hub, is the teams they've beaten are very bad. You look at the Titans, you look at the Raiders, so they have not passed a big test yet this year, so Monday night is a big one.
Now you just wonder when you talk about Ryan Matthews, is this a case of 1-1 actually equaling 2? He was out there until it was crunch time, and then Norv Turner didn't want putting the ball on the ground late in the game.
Yeah, that's probably true, and that's one thing that they've talked about. But the one thing, other side of that is he got the ball inside the red zone, which is something we hadn't seen. He ran it for a touchdown. Ronnie Brown, obviously a veteran guy, but there was one player Ronnie Brown didn't know the play call. And he missed a block, and Phillip Rivers had to throw the ball away. So, that's something they're still clearly trying to figure out. The other thing for the Chargers they got to figure out is Jared Gaither on the left side. His injury, obviously, is still lingering, and he messed up on Martez Wilson getting that strip sack 10 in the game.
Kev, 2 years ago with Elvis Dumervil hurt, even with Brian Dawkins still there, Champ Bailey a little younger, DJ Williams was the best defensive football player on this team. Now, he's just had 3 games added to his original 6-game suspension. How much do the Broncos really miss him, or has he become enough of a miscreant that maybe he's not in their future?
Well, I think in the first couple games, Hub, they said, well, we got Wesley Woodyard. He's been playing very well. You look at the guys in the defensive line, Von Miller as well, Joe Mays. It's a good front seven. But against the Patriots, you noticed DJ Williams wasn't there. Look at what Danny Woodhead did to them on a couple runs. Brandon Bolden, Stephen Ridley. Those are the type of plays where DJ Williams would have made a difference. I think that was a game that really showed how much they miss him in the middle of that defense.
Now, when all is said and done, even though the AFC West appears better, much like last year, everybody is still very much in the race, even the 1-4 Chiefs. This is a huge game in terms of playoff implications, championship implications. San Diego at least has home field advantage. Is that the difference?
Well, it's not a huge home field advantage when you're talking San Diego. We'll see if they probably fill the stadium for a Monday night game. I think the Chargers will have that advantage, and I think the Chargers might be the overall more talented team in this one. But the Broncos have had more tests, and Peyton Manning could be the difference. We'll see if that defense can force Phillip Rivers to make some turnovers. I kind of like the Broncos in a bit of an upset here in this one, just because we saw them do it against Pittsburgh in Week 1. They came close to the Texans, Falcons, and Patriots in rallies. As long as they can get out early, I think the Broncos can stay ahead in this one.
You know these clubs better than I do, but I got to go the other way on this one, and here's the reason. We talk so much about the Peyton Manning factor. I think there's a Phillip Rivers factor in this game. The Denver defense is one that he can exploit if he's on his game. He's got the weapons to do it. I think the Chargers put a bunch of points on the board. Maybe you see the Broncos closing the gap late in the game. I think the Chargers hold that home field advantage. That'll do it for our Monday night preview. We preview all the big games every week right here in video and in print. So stay right where you are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the best in pro football coverage at ProFootballWeekly.com.